Hey guys, Urban Combat Survivor here. This is a video response to Lambdog76. He put up a video yesterday titled, let's see, When and Why I Think the Recession Began. First, let me say, I think you're pretty balls on with most of what you said there. Not that you need the affirmation of that. It's pretty clear that you based everything you said there on facts and solid knowledge. So I'm not reaffirming for you that I'm agreeing. I'm saying that for anybody who may be waiting for me to call you out on anything you said. There's one or two points of not really quite contention, I guess. Things I may see a little bit differently than you. For instance, you said that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were the start of this. The reason I have to disagree is because I think Fannie and Freddie were a symptom, not the problem. Fannie and Freddie being created was a symptom of an infected government. These problems started a long time ago. What I think is going on is, it makes me think of the big tsunami that hit, or I think it was Thailand. There were all these tourists on the beach, and they watched in amazement as the water receded from the shore. And a lot of these people stood there and watched this water recede. They got their video cameras, and they filmed this mess. A couple 100,000 people died in that tsunami because none of them understood what was coming. The early warning system that they should have had in place was not in place. I think right now, before I get ahead of myself here, that tsunami was not the cause, or wasn't necessarily, it was a symptom of the cause. The tsunami was a result of the earthquake. The earthquake was a result of the shifting of the tectonic plates, etc., etc. Well, what I think is that the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac thing is the tsunami. The earthquake happened a long time ago, and the tectonic shift happened with the progressive movement in the 1890s. Not to say the progressive movement didn't exist before that, but that's when it started really gaining steam. When you allow a foundation to be laid, eventually a structure is going to be built on that foundation. These guys started putting laws into place. I've been reading a hell of a lot about the FDIC, about the Federal Reserve System, and it's a spider web. It is intentionally occlusive. Everything about it is intentionally occult. There's a reason when something is made to be intentionally difficult to follow and understand. They knew all along that the American people would never accept this crap. Not all at once. See, this is where Obama is probably actually good for America. I don't think Obama caused any of this. I think this has been going on far too long for him to have been the cause of any of it. What I do think, however, is that he is an agitation agent. He is something that got in there that exacerbated the hell out of it. The way I see it, this may not be the best analogy, but some people might take issue with this, but this is how I see it. It's like the progressive movement started as a couple of guys that were going to go cut purses and take wallets. And those guys, they started working through stealth, because nobody's going to tolerate you going and cutting purses and taking wallets. These guys continued, and they recruited slowly more people to their cause, and they started growing in power. And every once in a while in an organization like that, you get a guy who comes along that says, why are we sneaking? Why don't we just intimidate the shit out of our targets? So rather than sneaking and stealing wallets, he decides to grab somebody by the throat, drag them into an alley, and hold a hammer over them. and tell them you're going to give me everything you got. I want your wallet, your watch, your money. I want the savings account you put together for your grandkid. I want all of it right now. That, in my opinion, is what Obama is. He is the hammer that was inevitably going to come in the long run. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are the result of things that happened before. They're a symptom of the problem. This is the same kind of thing I've been saying about the border. So many people want to hammer on the border. The border is a symptom of a larger problem. I don't know if I'm able to convey my whole thought process here. We're limited to 15-minute videos here. There's not time for you, Lambdog, or me, or Mike, or anyone else to really lay down the whole argument. We have to rely on others actually going and doing a little bit of research and thinking for themselves and putting, two and two together and coming back with four the same way we have. In the end, I think you're focused in. You're like a laser beam on where the tipping point was in this particular tsunami, and you're balls on, man. You're right. I just prefer to step back personally and look at a little bit longer time frame. When did this all really start? 1913, 17th Amendment, in my opinion. That's where it really started. At least that's where it got teeth. Before that was a bunch of people standing around talking about building a new structure. The 17th Amendment was the foundation to that new structure. And we're living in the results right now. And I think the results we're living in are fixing to get a lot fucking worse than any of us want to see. So, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we're all wrong. I hope this all blows over and we just look back and go, whew, remember when we put food up? Remember that dumb crap? I hope so, but I don't think that's going to be how it is, brother. So, there it is. Urban Combat Survivor, signing off.